filter me down a little bit. Good morning, everybody. This is Doug, and you're listening to What's the Hazard? It is Friday, June 21st. You recognize Jay Miralles, and if Jay Miralles is in the studio, it's time to talk about the 50-Mile March Foundation.
Yes.
It is coming up August 24th through the 25th.
Yes.
Because we march overnight. So
22 hours of hell.
Yes. For a good cause, brother.
Absolutely.
Absolutely a good cause. Really excited to have you back. We met last year through our mutual friend, Abby Cherney.
God, she's so awesome. She's back again this year for more.
She's doing it again.
And she's crushing fundraising, bro.
Good.
Shout out to Abby.
We will talk more about the fundraising, but if you need to adopt someone, then adopt Abby Cherney.
For sure.
We'll give you the website and all the information.
Yep.
But it's been a year.
I know,
and
man.
There's been a lot going on. We haven't spoken, so I'm anxious to hear. For those that are not familiar with the event, with the foundation, would you talk just briefly about that? And
Absolutely.
Then what's happened over the last year?
So the 50-Mile March started out 5 years ago. Man, 5 years ago, bro.
That seems, and it's a lot of marching.
In the COVID, then in the height of COVID, right? To say, okay, 6 of us walked and we raised $25,000 for veterans. 6 people, right? It was never going to be a thing. Fast forward, we are now a foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Our job is to still fundraise, walk our mission, and that's our big fundraiser. But we've actually put strategic plans in place. We've put an operations plans in place. So our mission now is, and I'm paraphrasing on everything, but empowered. We want to empower veterans. Which veterans? Those who suffer from mental health and those who are homeless. And I'm telling you, the words mental health in itself and homelessness are taboo. You shouldn't even talk about that stuff, right? Like, how dare you label people that, you know, with the whole political correct system. Listen, if you don't have a shelter over your head, you're homeless. Right. If you have a mental health issue or you know, some depression, you have a mental health issue. We have to say it.
Right.
We have to, and ultimately that leads to suicide. And I'm not afraid to say that word either.
No doubt.
People have told us, be careful. Be careful when you say that word. Listen, if I don't talk about it, we don't acknowledge it, another life is going to be gone without doing anything. You know what I mean?
The statistics are staggering.
Oh, bro.
Particularly within the veteran community. It's really just an abomination that that's happening. So what you guys are doing is remarkable. We are raising money through the through the march.
Yes, through the march.
The march is the fundraiser. You asked me this morning if I was participating this year, and I said, "Oh, heck no, man."
I was like, because you said, "Hey, is there any more room?"
Last year, I was hoping that it was too late. I asked you, is it still possible to sign up for the march?
Yes.
Which you said, not really.
Not really, no.
You know, because there's a lot that goes into it, right? The preparation piece is really enormous for the march.
100%.
But the focus is on the fundraising for veterans, for mental health challenges and homelessness. And I mean, I can't imagine anyone who can't get their head around this, the importance of this effort.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And we talk about this, right? Interested, committed, right? I want to jump right into there. When people see us walking down the road, the 24th and the 25th, there's a lot of people that go, man, that looks cool. That's interesting. Hey, Jay, we'd like to do that with you next year, right? And I encourage the interest. I want you to be interested at first. I want you to start getting curious, but then I want to convert it into true commitment.
Right.
Because in our lives, man, we're interested in a lot of stuff. We just don't commit.
Right.
What I myself have aspirations, the things I want to do, but I'm not committed to everything I want to do.
We talked about that recently on Hayes and Fletch, man. We talked about the same thing, the difference between commitment and interest.
Oh,
you know, I'm interested in losing weight.
Yes. It's interesting.
But at 10:30 in the evening, when I'm pounding down a bag of Doritos, I realize I'm not committed.
It's true.
And I need to commit.
That's right. And so for some people, it's an all-out accountability. So the 50-Mile March gives you a community of accountability. Could you imagine showing up the day of the march, not training? It'll show.
No, I could not imagine.
I mean, right? Like it'll show. Like we'll know in the first 4 miles if you've been training or not.
Right.
You got 50 miles you got to walk. And if you can fake it for 20, good for you, but your feet will bleed.
Right.
So think about this. You have to build a strength and a routine so you don't stress the feet, so they don't crack, so they don't,
you're not having stress fractures,
fractures, all that stuff,
everything.
Yes, it's not that we're walking fast or anything. It's the load. It's the 120,000 steps. It's the sweat on your feet. It's then your back, and then your neck, and then you're trying to keep distance from the person in front of you, next to you, in a formation that is somewhat in order. And then you try to do this at 2:00 in the morning. Good luck, man. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm not telling people
it's a commitment.
It is a commitment. It's a deep investment into yourself. So what we've learned, Doug, is some people have said, Jay, I never knew I was capable of this. And, I get calls and texts now. People say, man, this is really good for me.
I'll bet.
And I get those deep, dark texts that say, hey, if it weren't for this, I probably wouldn't be around anymore.
Yeah.
Or they say, hey, Jay, I want to share my story. I'm ready to share my story with you. This is where I was going to take my life. This is where my attempt was. This is where my third attempt was. And I'm like, man, people say, isn't that heavy? Isn't that dark? I said, no, it's not, because we can celebrate the fact that they're here. I'm not the psychiatrist, the psychologist. I'm not trying to solve it.
Right.
I'm trying to get them to the next step.
Right. And you got to bring it into the light in order to solve it, right?
Yes. Because
you can't keep it in the shadows.
No, it all hides in the dark. And if we don't talk about it, Doug, it's like keeping all your problems underneath this table or in the background. It doesn't get solved because we just ignore it.
This is so interesting to me, because everybody is aware of homelessness.
Yes.
You see it. If you see it on the news, if you watch the news, you see it every night on the news. You see it in your community.
Yeah.
I think many of us ask, how are we going to solve this problem? And you are giving people an opportunity to participate in the solution.
Yes. Yes.
And you and your team are going to do the hard work.
Yes.
And the marchers are doing the hard work. But
yes.
every one of us gives us an opportunity to participate in the solution.
Doug,
so we'll talk about the fundraising piece.
Yeah.
This is a fundraiser.
Yes.
Make no mistake. And I'm sure it has a tremendous impact on the participants. As you said, to do something that you're not sure you're capable of is a very deep, ethereal experience.
Yes.
A very rewarding experience.
Absolutely.
But the real opportunity for us, for the people like me who are still interested but not committed, but I can still participate by giving.
100%. I mean, Doug, if you look at what you're doing, when I talk about participation or being involved or volunteering, I'm talking about time, talent, and treasure, as we discussed last time. Without your talent, Doug, we can't tell this story. And, with the people that listen to your podcast, if one person goes, hey, man, I need help, get me to Jay.
I hope that's true.
That's just one. That's just one.
That's true.
You've done your part, more than your part, but there are other people who are just as able as you are, probably with a pocketbook that can double our checkbook.
Right.
It's not about a dollar amount. It's just do what you can when you can. Serve, like you're talking purpose, right? You're talking, okay, I'm in this stage of life, but man, who are we or what are we if we just go to a job or we just have a business that it's just on autopilot and there's no purpose? Making a difference is different than making money.
Without question.
Oh, bro. Yeah. Making a difference means most of the time it costs nothing.
Right.
Right. Making a difference most of the time costs nothing. Like this is making a difference. Now it doesn't cost nothing, but I'm saying your talent is exponential for our cause. But the people who are just worried about the money, just making money and the grind and a profit, hey, good for them. But man, I'm in the point of life where purpose gets me out of bed.
Totally.
At 4:00 in the morning, it did this morning.
Yeah, I am in that point of my life as well.
Good.
And I think that is an evolution for many people. Some people reach that point right away. It takes others longer. But if you're listening to this show, if this is something that intrigues you, then you're in that point.
Yes.
You have reached that point of your life. And so it's time to commit.
Yeah.
Whether that be marching or whether that be some contribution, whatever that is, it's time to commit.
Or volunteering or just sharing our story. I mean, I know that I have friends, who have never donated, but they've shared and when I say never donated, I don't want to make it seem like that. I'm saying no monetary contribution, but man, they have brought us the biggest connections ever, or they shared it with someone, or it was impactful to their friend or their family. This is not about just the money. This is about the mission. This is about serving those who need our help today, not 6 months from now, not press 1, press 8. Like we need to walk in lockstep with other organizations to coordinate these efforts.
Yeah, I love that. And so let's talk a little bit about, you alluded to the preparation.
Yes.
This is not something that you expect people to go into without some assistance.
Correct.
So you guys do a great job. I was so impressed last year with your discussion of how you help prepare people.
Yes.
And then building the community, because you're going to be out there suffering with 150 people, it sounds like this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And suffering in a group like that is so much more powerful than doing it by yourself, you know.
I agree.
And in that community.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the march for those that aren't familiar, the actual logistics of it, and how you prepare people, and then we'll get to how they can help.
So we'll start with preparation. So again, from the interest, people fill out an application. The application is very clear. It's going to be this is the requirements, this is the calisthenics. If you are approved, you're on the hook to raise $2,500.
Yeah.
That right there scares most people. You know, they can run Ironman triathlons and all whatever, you know. But when it comes to the money piece, it scares some people. Yeah, and it's okay. But we help train them through that. So there's a qualifier. There were 2 qualifiers this year, a primary and a makeup. For those who are remote around the United States, people fly in, Doug, from Florida, from Georgia, from California, Colorado, Arkansas. I think Arkansas drives. One is coming from Utah this year and Missouri. So
awesome.
I probably forgot somebody, but it doesn't matter. North Carolina. But I will tell you this. Yeah, North Carolina, because Chip is pretty awesome. Chip is 73 years old, and this will be his 3rd mission with us. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Make me feel bad.
Oh, okay, man, Chip. Don't.
Okay, Chip, I'm in.
Oh, yeah, okay. You heard it, Chip. But this year we have a 75-year-old named John James.
Incredible.
And bro, 75 years old. He was a navigator in the military. This guy is about as just cool, calm, 75 years old, Doug. He's been prepping, training harder than I've trained every day. And oh my gosh. And Hillcrest community, they're the retirement communities. They are sponsoring him because he lives in one of them.
Does he?
Bro.
Amazing.
Oh man, all of his buddies. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Just ask me about John James later. Okay, preparation.
Okay.
So we have training rucks, right? So this is how community starts. Hey, Dave, do you want to? Oh, yeah. How about you, Sandy? How about you, Sheila? Okay. And these informal things. And then it becomes formal. And then, oh my gosh, this Sunday, there's a 10-miler test, if you would, just for people who say, where am I? Okay. There's about 30 of them that are going to walk 10 miles, Nebraska Brewing Company.
Okay.
Next week after that, there's another 10-miler. That way, when Cindy jumps in and says, where am I? Oh my gosh, maybe I need a little more training here. Maybe I need a little better foot care, because training is not just about agility and endurance. It's about knowing how your feet perform. Do I need to tape them? Do I need toe socks? Do I need 2 pair of socks? Is it merino wool? Do my feet hate black wool, right? Like you got to know.
And you help coach people on that.
100%.
You're meeting with them in addition to doing these trial walks.
Yes.
You are meeting with them and coaching them up.
And Zoom. And people are being mentored. And people who have done 3 missions are, hey, Jay, I'm mentoring these three people, right? And they call them kids, but sometimes they're younger than the people they're mentoring. Right. But anyway, so that's part of the preparation. But it's, how does my backpack fit? What's my nutrition like? We give them nutrition examples. We do foot care clinics.
Oh, that's awesome.
Doug, we take this serious because I don't want you to get hurt.
Right. But we want it to be a good experience.
You're going to suffer. It's painful.
Suffering is not a bad thing.
No, it's not. And there's a study, Doug, where people who did put themselves through hard things and completed them are highly likely to achieve in future endeavors. There's people who, whenever they hit adversity, they're like, hey, how do I mean, first of all, stop using the words, how do I? Google it first. Google it first. Just stop saying, how did you, what's the recipe? Like, stop asking those questions. We got Google now.
Right. Figure it out. It's out there.
First.
Yeah.
And then if you can't see the research results, at least call me with the search results, right? No. So there's that preparation. And then there's a true mission briefing. Doug, safety is all you. I know. We have prepared so well that we have 4 leaders per platoon.
You break them out into platoons?
Yes, and there are 4 of them.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people in each platoon making sure. But if so let's say you are a platoon leader. You're being trained right now in the background on how to handle pressure, stress. Well, what if the second person in formation falls out? What do we do? I mean, you got to keep going while one drops. Like, we have it all. I think we're getting an AED this time, for sure. But
I've got a guy.
Do you really?
Right here, Dustin Talaco.
Dustin Talaco, yes, I love Dustin. So we've reached out once, and I know that they've responded back. But Dustin and I go way back. Matter of fact, I think I still have his number.
He's big in the AED.
Yes,
world.
He is, and he's a firefighter too,
he's
right?
Amazing guy.
Is he still, yes.
Paramedic with Omaha Fire.
I was with him at Omaha Beef, but anyhow, I digress. So we are preparing. We even have an ambulance with us this time.
Okay.
So when you say prepare, there's so many things. There's probably 50 to 75 hours with a little committee called an ops committee that is just planning the route, all the contingencies, all of the what ifs. I mean, our operations order is 32 pages, right? Like, now you're saying, well, that's too much. No, not for our platoon leaders.
Right.
Now, everyone else gets a dumbed down version, but that's the preparation that goes. That's how much thought that goes in. For every hour of execution, we want at least an hour of preparation, right? That's 22 hours. We're asking for 100 hours of planning, or 50 to 100 hours of planning. And then people like me who are still, like training to prep, I'm 3 times a week minimum, 5 miles. Every now and then, when I feel like it, on a Saturday or Sunday on my own, I'll do 10, right? Or I'll go further if I can push myself further. I know where I'm at, but I've been doing this for 5 years. So just me, Doug, I mean, I'm 54 years old. I mean, John Jones is 75, but I still have to prepare mentally.
Without quit,
Yeah. So those are the things that we think about on the prep. Now, the actual mission, is that what you want?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Starts in Lincoln.
Yes.
On the state capitol steps. Is that where we're starting again?
Yep.
On the 24th. Is that a Saturday?
That's a Saturday. Yep, okay. Saturday. So
August
Saturday,
24th, we're going to start.
The times are moving around, but we'll because we've shifted it 3 hours.
Okay.
So typically before, we used to leave at 5 p.m. because it was cooler at night, but there's a lot of traffic. So we're just, anyway, we start on the Capitol. We lay down for 22 minutes. Imagine, Doug, laying down on this rug right here for 22 minutes. Do you know how hard it is to get off just the rug if you've been laying, no pillow, no nothing, right?
Right.
Try that on concrete for 22 minutes. It'll change the perspective of your life and say, wait a minute, does this hurt? I'm glad it hurts, because there's a guy named Phil under the Bob Carey Bridge tonight who sleeps on this every night.
Right.
That's who you're walking for. So after that 22 minutes, we get up. There's a few other briefings, safety briefings, platoon briefing. Then there's a commencement speech, usually by our honorary commander, Greg Ham, this year from Warner Enterprises. He's actually walking with us.
Fantastic.
Yes. And it's a whole rigmarole. It's a lineup. It's a equipment check. It's a make sure nothing falls off you. It's almost like you're getting ready to paratroop out of a plane. If I could,
that's what it
like. Yes. Like we don't want Doug tripping on a cord. We don't want someone dropping an earbud. Like, we have operating orders that say, hey, if you're gonna have an earbud in, it's got to be tethered. You cannot have the wireless ear. Imagine this: 2:00 in the morning, guy Jeff drops it. Oh my gosh, we gotta stop. We're not stopping.
Right.
But we're not going to have that. And we're already telling people, you got to wear a cover. You got to have a hat. You have to have a backpack. You've got to have 2-liter minimum with you at all times. Like, there's just so many things.
This is 5 years of experience there.
Yes.
And plus, the vast majority of you are veterans, so you have done this in your previous life as well. You know what you're doing.
And we're not doing it to flex. We're doing it to keep them safe too.
Right.
And the other part, okay, so when we leave, Stonebrook Exteriors is our very first stop, right? So that's 10 miles. Everyone's like, oh, this is amazing, right? That's probably the last happy stop. I'm just being honest with you, right?
Right.
Because when we hit that end, the owner is walking with us this year. So we've been stopping in his parking lot for the last 4 years.
And what's a stop entail then?
30
minutes?
Yes, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on our pace, because we want to keep it aligned. Like, we don't want people in Ashland to think we're going to show up an hour early.
Right.
We have everything built. We have, like I said, okay, we've got a cushion of 5 minutes. Do we burn it here, or do we just slow it down on the road? Like, everything is calculated. So the commander, which is Lieutenant Colonel Aprich, that dude is like, his brain works like I don't want to say Rain Man, but he can see the formula in his head of, all right, we need to take it down a quarter mile per hour. And just, I'm like, man, really? Like, okay, quarter mile down, and it's so funny. 3.2, you'll hear everyone yell 3.2 miles per hour on the way back. And people got watches and they know the language. So stop. First of all, when you walk in, you got 40 volunteers cheering like, yeah, you can do it. Could you imagine, Doug, 40 miles in, 30 miles in even? It's nighttime, you're hungry, you're sweaty, you're tired. These people are like, yeah. And you're like, oh my God, it just makes my hair stand up right now. But I'm telling you, we come in, you have an order of work is what it's called. So you have to do this order of work before you're allowed to rest. Fill up your water, got to go to the bathroom. And you're like, that sounds so trivial. Doug, after you walk 20 miles or 10 miles twice, the last thing you want to do is go to the bathroom. You just want to fall down, right? You just want to take your shoes off for a second. Some people are so tired, Doug, that they don't even change their socks. I'm like, guys, you need to change your socks. You need to put on a fresh new pair of socks. You got to change your shirt.
Right.
You know why your underarms are chafing? Because it's wet. Like, we have 5 RVs from Bish's RV. Thank you, Bish's RV. We will have a 6-person toilet now. Those mobile, the luxury ones, though.
Nice.
Because what we learned is you can stink up an RV pretty quick, bro. Nobody wants to go in there. So there's all these things, and Hy-Vee caters for us right now. Now, Doug, a first-time marcher will go, ooh, look at this bar and this banana and this looks amazing. Look at these donuts, right? Like, they eat it. I'm like,
I would slow that down a little bit.
So we know now. So we've talked with Hy-Vee, their nutritionists, and our nutrition people.
Fantastic.
Here's what we're doing: keto brick. There's a lot of low carb, high protein stuff.
There's a lot of science to this, man.
Yes, there is. You got to fuel the body. Electrolytes. You cannot drink straight water. No, you're doing your body a disservice. You're washing away all your minerals, right? And you're sweating it out through your skin. You got to have electrolytes. But so there's a lot.
Over the 5 years or so that you have covered every angle, it sounds like.
And we're still
probably
learning.
Always a few things that pop up along the way, but you're prepared and you 100%. React accordingly
and
when
we
those
have
things
to.
appear.
Lives are at stake, Doug. Imagine, oh, Jay, I heard someone got hurt. What happened? You can tell them whatever happened, but the story is going to manufacture itself. So let's get in front of the story. Let's not even have the story. I would rather people be irritated with me than one person mourning because they got hurt or killed.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It sounds crazy.
No.
And I'm not popular sometimes on the 40th mile. Guys, we need to tighten it up. Jay, we're just trying to get through it. And some people do, and you, under that kind of pressure, Doug, you got to realize that the human spirit's going to break. And you can't, I have never and will never combat anyone who has shown their, like when you squeeze an orange juice comes out, right? When you squeeze an idiot shows up, right? I mean, sometimes that happens.
Right.
But I cannot combat them right there, right? I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I have to maintain my composure, so someone might even go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I mean, you're talking 150 lives. not everyone's going to be angelic on there, right?
Right, no doubt. But that's the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if it was easy, where would the commitment and suffering be? I mean,
you're right.
There's something beyond our comfort. We talked about this last week, getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
We had my friend Mark Jones, Dr. Jones, the psychologist, the Creighton psychologist, talking about getting out of your comfort zone, pushing beyond comfort.
Right.
How important that is to your soul.
Yes.
You know, like you were talking about purpose. We talk a lot about longevity.
Right.
And people that have purpose in their life have much greater longevity than those that don't. So this is something that you can find purpose in.
It pours into my life, Doug, because if you really think about it, I have to set time aside for this.
No doubt.
Now, I don't volunteer anywhere else. Like, I got to work, right? I've got to take care of my family. I've got to be at my son's games, and I can't say yes to everything, but that's a discipline that I have to have. Do I want to do everything? Look, Doug, I mean, being involved, podcasting. Why do you even podcast? Because you want to make a difference, right? Because you enjoy this. This is your talent. This is your drive. You know how many other people want a podcast, but they never get to your seat because they're not driven or there's no purpose for them. It looks cool. How many people told you, Doug, oh man, I want to start a podcast? They can. Yeah. They can, but
that's okay. They can contribute to this.
Yes, for sure. Yes, they can. They can
for
be
everyone that wanted a podcast and doesn't.
Yes.
Go to the website and
absolutely 100%.
Absolutely. So we're walking overnight.
Yeah.
We're doing 10 miles at a time. We're taking this break. It's a strategic break. There's a lot that goes on during the break.
Yep.
You do the next 10, and we were on the 25th, on Sunday the 25th.
Oh, yes.
22 hours in, which is the significance of the 22 minutes.
Absolutely.
22 hours in, we are arriving in La Vista. Are we going to La Vista again?
Yes, La Vista. We'll be going to the Nebraska Brewing Company. So imagine this. There's a hill, if you can picture Nebraska Brewing from where we enter, it crests up. It goes up, and it's almost like, damn, why did we pick this hill? Right? I swear to you, I look forward to it. Yes. And people are like, as soon as they see this thing, because part of it is downhill from Cabela's, it goes down just a little further. And it's like, oh, wow, this is good. You turn the corner, and man, we call it the beast. It is the beast. And then it's so quiet as you're starting up that hill. You got police escort making you turn left. Then you've got vehicles. They start shutting down the vehicles to stop coming in. And then you get up this hill, man. And then as the hill crests, it's still far away. You start seeing little dots of people, right? You start hearing things, and you see maybe one 12-year-old kid who wanted to get in front of everybody run to you and, hey, guys. And then maybe some other crazy people like, we just wanted to say hello. And then the crowd gets thicker and thicker, and the noise gets so motorcycles revving, the smell of freaking fumes. Oh, that's freedom, bro. The sound of the motorcycle. That's the only time I want to smell fumes. But the fanfare, the music. So this year, knock on wood, we hope to have a drum line.
Nice.
Not just some little 3 guys playing a little drummer boy. We're talking about like boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? To where
John
it's emotional.
Bonham drums,
yes, man. Bro. Yes. And just, I want them to feel it in their hearts, and I want people to go, damn, it's so loud. And you walk in, and I make sure, Doug, that I, as feeling responsible for all these people, I don't go in first. I go into the front, and I turn my face towards the people coming in, and I'm high-fiving, and I'm, thank you so much. Like, I'm trying to hit every walker, 151 walkers, 150 walkers. We'll see. But I want to be the last one in, bro. I want to make sure the last person gets in. And then I want to watch that formation walk in. Right. And I want to see the crowd react to them. Right. I could give a damn about me. I've done it. I've seen it. People have seen me. It's other people's time. And it's not just the walkers, it's the volunteers.
I would imagine it's remarkable to watch how people react to completing this too.
Oh, bro. Kids.
The euphoria, the tears.
Yes. Yeah. We had a Submariner, Justin, his son, probably, I don't know, I'm just going to guess 5-6 years old. he almost went to a time where his dad used to go to the submarine and not see his dad and him cry. So he got used to that feeling of dad's going to go away for a while. This moves me to tears, bro. He cried at the Capitol. The son cried at the Capitol, held him, wouldn't let him go, man. When we got back, his son was crying. Oh, man, it's so, people coming back, like, some of these people never got a welcome, Doug.
Right.
They never got walked off the plane, and they never got the acknowledgement. And here's a crowd of thousands of people, right? We're predicting 4,000 or 5,000 this year, just based on our walkers and percentages from last year. But I want John Jones to walk in, and I want someone to hug him, man. I want someone to just tell him, John, you matter. You know how many, a 75-year-old man probably hasn't had that happen too often in their life since service?
Probably not. Yeah, you're right.
God.
The heavy stuff.
It is
amazing.
And then someone's in the crowd watching, like, man, maybe I don't want to kill myself.
Hopefully.
One more day.
Yeah.
One more day.
One more day.
Hey, I came here to watch this. Hey, maybe I can do this. So while I talk about people being interested and I kind of, make fun of that, I'm pulling people in until they let go. When Doug says, hey, I'm in, I'm going to keep pulling you in, Doug, till you let go. But you never know what I'm pulling in.
Right.
I don't know why Doug wants to do this. He'll find out. You find 90% of yourself on that walk, right? Most people who work out, have a good routine, they find 70% of themselves. Yeah. Americans who just go through the motions, they have 50% of their lives. 100% is when you die, but at 90%, you're at that edge, bro. Like, can I go? I'm not going to compare it to Mount Everest. But some of us will never see Mount Everest.
It'll be our Mount Everest.
It will be our Mount. Yeah, absolutely. Mount Everest might be getting someone out of bed, putting their shoes on, and getting to work. Right. But this is someone's. I had the unintended consequence of what's going on now, Doug, is we're building a community. A community without walls. Yeah. There's no building yet. There will be.
Right.
But damn, people are building friendships. People are in people's weddings. People started dating each other. People, their kids got together. Like, man, it's so crazy at the stories.
Powerful. So let's talk a little bit about the vision too.
Yes.
I mean, what ultimately is the plan?
Yes.
You guys are working on some big plans.
Absolutely.
You have big plans for this.
Operation Home Base is the vision. So back in 2021, when we raised 141,000, I'm like, what do we do now? Like, I had no idea. I thought we were going to raise 25,000 again. We don't have a sponsorship committee that goes out and says, hello, Mr. Fletcher, we'd like to pitch you the 50-mile march. We don't do that. This has all been organic thus far. So the vision is this: we need to create Operation Home Base. What's important is that we have a community center first, which is a large building that will house coordinated services, collaborated services. Okay, maybe there's a counselor, a psychologist, somebody to intake someone right away to say, you need it now, right? Let's triage you. Where are you at, right? Now, that community center will not just serve the 22 homes. So it'll serve whoever wants to come in to that community center. So not everyone who has a mental health issue needs a house. Not everyone who has a mental health issue is completely incapacitated, but maybe they're living 30% of their lives because they don't know how to talk to anybody. What if we get them to 50% of their lives with help and job training? So here it is, Operation Home Base, community center, 22 tiny homes. There's a phased program, an 18-month program where Jay Miralles, when I was homeless, would have benefited from something like this, right? Or there's other people who say, I don't need a home. I live with my wife, but I need to talk to somebody now and I need a better job. Werner Enterprises is going to step in and say, hey, you drove a truck in the military. Chances are we all drove a truck or a government-owned vehicle. Trust me.
Right.
But wait a minute. You can make 60, 70, 80, 90,000, 100,000, whatever it is. But wait a minute. You don't like to drive? That's okay. You want to go to the labor union? Let's get you a skilled trade. Let's start getting you paid. Let's make you feel better than what you feel now because you're at a job you hate, or maybe you haven't had a job in a while. And there's going to be different exits from our system. Like homelessness and joblessness and mental health all have an on-ramp. They don't all have an off-ramp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to find that exit lane to say, here's your 18-month program, Jay. Congratulations, you're driving for Werner. Here's your plan, Jay. You're now going to be an electrician. Do you know how much shortage is in the labor in the labor union today?
Mike Rowe told me just last night on YouTube, 10 million unfilled jobs that need to be filled.
Think about that, because
it's remarkable.
We pump so much people into telling them spend $80,000 on don't get me started.
Yeah.
That's fine. But now we're discovering that, hey, Mitch, start as an apprentice, bro. You can earn right now.
Yeah. There are a lot of talent out there.
Yes.
There's a lot of commitment.
Yes.
And there are a lot of opportunities. And you need to help put them together.
Wall Street didn't build America.
Together. Right.
These tradespeople did. The truck drivers move America. I mean, these are all professions that are honorable and noble, right?
Of course they are. Yeah.
There's no job less than any other. I'm not ever going to say that. But to take me from where I was working as some clock tech at one time, making $24,000 a year when I was struggling, if you'd have said, hey, Jay, we're going to move you into $40,000 a year, I'd have been like, what? That's almost double for doing what? For learning a trade. But that was 20, something years ago.
Yeah.
Think of what it could be today.
Yeah. People
get stuck, Doug, because they have no one to talk to. Hey, Andrew, get a better job. Well, I can't. I don't know what to do. Stressed out. I drink a lot because stress. Let's take Andrew on an intake program. Let's give him supervised visits. Let's give him a plan, a caseworker that is not overloaded. And, you don't know how to go through the system, Andrew? Angie's waiting for you already at the VA.
She can help you.
Well, wait, you coordinated that, Jay? Yeah, she's our people.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, but Angie's being bombarded by 190 people. If we build that relationship with Angie and she knows that we're on the other side to help carry the load, she might be apt to build a relationship with us.
Yeah.
It's easy, man.
Yeah.
It's easy. And we've already done it even without this community center. So
it's incredible, man.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, man.
So the website, for those of you that are now going to donate, because there's no might donate in this.
Right.
Everybody's going to get their, if you're listening, I don't have many expectations of people, but I expect you to go to the website,
please.
At least
please
50, the number 50, milemarch.org.
Yes, sir. Damn, you did your homework.
Is the website.
Yeah.
Well, if I would have done my homework back in the day, things might have been different. But that's why I'm here, right?
Well, yes.
Messed up a little bit too much in school, and it led me here, which is I'm happy to be here.
But at least you messed up. At least you messed up in school. I didn't. I didn't go to school.
milemarch.org.
Yes.
If you want to reach out on the website, there's contact information.
Everything is there.
Phone
videos,
numbers,
phone number.
You just got to get to the website first.
Yes.
50milemarch.org. You can go on there and donate.
Yes.
You can pick a person. You can contribute without having to select a walker.
100%. You can just do general contribution. There's a lot of things that we're doing. After Doug, I want to invite you, number one, to the landing, and then number two, to our post celebration. It's going to be at the SAC Museum.
Awesome.
It's in October. We're still nailing down a date for that. I think we have it, but I don't want to announce it. So that is when we're going to truly celebrate the walk. We're going to give people some time to decompress. Then we're going to have, this is not going to be your gala. Okay. It's going to be some come as you are, right? Have some fun. Let's recognize some people. Let's share some of the great stories that we've learned, and let's build this community even bigger.
Be a community.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the galas put up walls to community. I think when you do it more informally,
it includes everybody.
There's a greater opportunity for it to build that network.
Absolutely.
And to build that community.
If you want to wear a tuxedo, wear a tuxedo. If you want to bring your pajamas, bring your pajamas.
You don't want to see me in a tuxedo.
Oh, bro.
But I love that. So Abby Cherney.
Yes.
Team Abby. I'm on Team Abby.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're a safety person, get on Team Abby. I would like to, the leading fundraiser be one of us from the safety community. So if everybody from the safety community threw $100 or $200 at Abby.
Gosh, that'd be great. I'm going to give her, I'm going to put her link for her with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So on this podcast,
right
you'll see. Yes.
Absolutely. Otherwise, I think you need to go to the website. I was on the website yesterday and this morning again. I got to be honest, the picture of the participants, how many walk marchers did you have last year?
87.
87.
It looked bigger than that though, didn't it?
God, there were some badass looking people. And I mean, men, women, children.
Yes. Our youngest
people.
walker is 7 years old this year. 8. She'll be 8. Her name is Lexi. 8 years old, bro. Cleared by a doctor. Walking with her dad. Her dad had nothing to do with it. Her dad walked last year. She wanted to walk last year. Her dad said no.
8 years old.
8 years old, bro. Your kids will do what you do. Your kids will do what you do.
Oh, I'm feeling guilty now. I'm almost ashamed of
Doug, you can do this.
For her. That's amazing.
It is.
That is amazing.
It is.
50-mile march. It's incredible, brother.
Thank you, man.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good stuff. So everybody check it out. Get to the website. Once you're on the website, you can't deny it. You can't say no.
It's crazy.
So just make it a point, but get to the website.
Thank you.
Read the website, make your donation, turn out, and start thinking about next year.
I'll give you the link also for the landing party.
Absolutely.
So that you can RSVP there. You'll be notified of when the landing is happening. You'll be given instructions. People bring lawn chairs. People have cigars out there. They have beer. There's some food.
It's at the Nebraska Brewery.
Yeah,
there might be a beer or two.
Yes.
I could see that.
We shut down the block, bro. Nice. It's crazy. Short of a helicopter flying over, that's all we're missing. So if anybody knows anyone who can do a flyover for us, that'd be great. That'd be great because it is the air show that weekend too for Offit. So this is going to be busy. Somebody. Hopefully, I'm sure we do, but we're trying to exhaust all channels.
Awesome. Jay Miralles, everybody, co-founder and board member.
Yes.
50-Mile March Foundation. This is righteous work, man.
Bro, I'm just appreciative, Doug, because you allow me to share my story and believe me, this doesn't get lost on me ever. You're sporting the shirt. I knew I'm
a fan of free shirts.
Because you asked me for one last year and I never followed through. It's followed through. No, but now I finally did.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to take it to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym right now.
Yes.
And start walking.
I promise people will ask you about it.
I know they will.
Doug, I would like to mentor and train you for next year, brother. Thank you.
Oh. Let's do it 1 mile at a time.
Yes, we can.
We'll start off slow.
Yes.
All right, everybody. You have your mission, right? Yes. Get on the website, check it out, make your contribution. Abby Cherney, we're going to support Abby once again. And yeah, man, I mean, have a little purpose.
Yes.
Have some commitment.
Yes.
I guess you can't have some commitment. Commitment is like a thing.
It's all in.
You're in.
You're in.
Right. All right.
All in.
It's time to be in. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.